let's make something that is very, we see it in Quebecois culture.
Yes.
Maple syrup, well, sugar pie. Sugar pie is what I know it as. You're going to make a maple syrup sugar pie, which is so good and sweet.
It's a maple syrup pie.
Maple syrup pie.
And you really don't see it here because, like, I was like, what are we going to do with maple syrup? Like, there's so many different things. It's like, no, we're going to make a pie out of it.
Make a pie.
I mean, if you're going to have a pie and you're going to fill it with sugar, it might as well be maple sugar.
Why not?
You know?
Why not?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yes.
Totally. Okay.
Why not?
So, first thing we have to do, because we're putting really, really beautiful maple syrup in this, everything has to be perfect.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
So let's start with the pie crust.
Yes, that's scary.
That's kind of scary, but
Right.
it really shouldn't be.
Okay.
You know what? Get yourself a Cuisinart, a Whirlwind, or, you know, a Vitamix.
A Whirlwind?
A Whirlwind?
There's all kinds of names for them. Anything you want. You know, it's going to spin it around.
Moves food
I've
around.
got like 125 grams of flour in there, 125 grams of butter.
Okay.
Okay, but the trick is the butter is cold.
Right.
It's hard. I just pulled it out of the freezer.
So you put the whole thing in the freezer.
I put the whole
because it's going to
thing in the freezer,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
And that's the trick, because what you want to do is don't want to overwork it. You want chunks of butter in there. And the butter mixed with the flour, then it's going to bake and it's going to get fluffy. And everyone's like, how did you get it so fluffy and flaky? It's the butter.
Okay.
It's always the butter.
Put the thing on it.
Right?
Don't you want to put the thing on it?
I'll put this.
That's the shiny
My
part.
hair.
And then basically all we're going to do is just kind of grind this up a little bit, not a lot. You'll still see chunks of butter in there. Hit it with a touch of water, cold water. Make sure everything's super cold, right? And then maybe a little bit more.
What are you, like, how are you gauging?
You know, it's by eye.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I measured this stuff, and there's a touch of baking soda in there as well.
Okay.
And then what you want to do is take it off. Don't get your hand in there when it's on. That would be a problem.
It's still chunky.
Listen, we've seen some strange things in the kitchen. And yes, it's still chunky.
Okay.
That's kind of what you have to be. You can see there's still chunks of butter in there. And then as you, like, bring it together and work it with your hand's going to melt the butter a little bit, and it's going to turn it into a dough just like that.
This is quite the process.
And look at the chunks of butter.
So you can still see the butter in there. Isn't that gorgeous?
Good.
No.
So Jason's gonna roll this out for us, and what you would do is you'd wrap this up and then you'd put it in the fridge and leave it in the fridge for an hour.
Okay.
And then before you need to work with it, you bring it out and you let it get to just kind of cooled off.
Right.
And see, it's at the perfect thing, so Jay can roll this thing out.
Nice and warm.
As he does that, we're gonna get the pan ready. So essentially, I just put a little bit of olive oil, which is not really traditional, but it's easier to work with than butter.
Okay.
And I like olive oil. So
Yeah, me too.
It's my pie. I'm gonna use olive oil.
Do whatever you want.
I want olive oil.
Right?
Fine.
But you know, you just kind of get the pan greased up like this, and then you hit it with some butter, or I mean, hit it with some flour.
Yeah.
And then you roll it around.
That used to be my job with everything we baked at home. I did the greasing of the pan.
You did the greasing. That was you.
That's all I know how to do, guys. Yeah, and I stalled after that.
But then, like, you're dealing with this beautiful greased up pan. It was easier than butter.
Yeah, that
right?
was.
And olive oil's delicious and good for you. So there you go. How you making out there?
I'm looking pretty good.
That's pretty
Want to go
good.
A little thinner,
A little thinner, chef, for sure.
I like thick crust. Come on.
Well, no, it's all about the syrup. It's all about the maple syrup.
Okay. Here we go.
So as Jay gets there,
It doesn't have to be a perfect, it doesn't need to be a perfect.
I'm really glad you brought this up.
Crust. It's going to taste perfect, but it doesn't have to look perfect.
And I'm not a baker.
Right.
Right. And so the moment you call yourself a baker, then it has to be perfect.
Right.
So I never suggest you call yourself a baker. Don't do that, right? So what you want to do then is just basically trim the edges. You got wherever it's overloaded, you can trim it down. Don't do the crinkly. Don't do the fork. Don't do anything. Leave it alone. It's rustic. It's cool. It's hip. Yeah. It's totally amazing.
Keep it real raw and unpolished looking.
Exactly.
It's all intentional.
Homemade. Yeah, we're gonna.
Homemade.
Well, the syrup's homemade, so the pie's gonna be homemade.
Yeah.
So we got a little bit of corn syrup or cornstarch.
Yeah.
2 tablespoons. We got 2 tablespoons of flour. Right?
Exactly measured, perfect.
Totally measured, absolutely. Give me 1 egg, 1 whole egg in
right
there.
in there?
Yeah, throw it right in.
Done.
And then I need,
Oh, look at that. I like that.
Double
good day. It's a
duty.
good day when it's a double.
By a lot of
And then 2 yolks, pretty please, sir.
2 yolks you got.
And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna mix this up, and I always like to go with the dries first, right? And then that way we're gonna get clumps of the cornstarch in there.
This is our filling?
This is our filling
now?
So when we think about the filling, as you see where we're gonna go, we need to hold this filling together. I kind of want to leave it somewhere around like a creme brulee, kind of like a butter tart, somewhere in there. But what's gonna hold it together is the eggs.
We got a broken one.
That's fine, no problem. It's gonna get broken in there.
Yeah.
The eggs, the cornstarch, and the flour. But that is it. So that's not a lot to hold it together.
Okay.
So then, Jay, you ready? Open up the jug.
Syrup, it's syrup time.
I'm telling you, it's like I want to do a little song.
Right? You show up with this thing and you're never going to love you. You know? So 2 cups, please.
Oh, can I just dump it in there?
Yeah,
Come on.
dump it in.
No, 2 cups.
2 cups.
1.
Keep it going. Keep it going. You're not there yet.
It's going to be a little sweet. Keep going. Keep going.
And
I think that's it.
That's good.
That is exactly true.
That's good. Woo. Yeah.
Now I do have one more, couple other ingredients to go in that aren't really
Some
traditional.
butter.
Just a little bit of the most expensive butter you get your hands on.
Yeah.
That's a good start. Get that in there, and then some heavy cream. So we have a cup and a half of 35%
So you've got
cream.
the sugar.
Okay.
You got the cream. You got the butter.
So you have the fat, you have the sweet, you have the
There's no
everything
such
you
thing as
need.
diet pie.
No.
There's no such thing as diet pie. Nobody ever made a diet
What's
pie,
diet
right? So then, just for fun, just give me a
Little bit of
pinch of
salt?
salt, just to bring out that sweetness. You'd be
Yeah.
surprised. You'd be like, there's a lot of sweetness in there, but that salt will just like kind of kick it a little bit up. Like that, and then Jay, you ready for this?
Oh yeah. Let's do it, man.
This is so good.
Oh, there's no holes in my cook now.
No, the crust looks good. Looks really good. So then we simply just put this in,
Oh yeah.
right?
That's so good.
Everyone's just got really quiet.
I know.
They got really quiet there.
We're focused, man.
400 degrees. Set your timer
Yeah.
for 30 minutes, 31 minutes, 32 minutes, 33, and so on. But what you're looking for is when you kind of hit it like this, like see how it's really wet, you want it to just kind of like move back
a
and
quiche.
forth.
Like a
Like a quiche, like a dance.
Like this?
Like almost like a hula hoop moment.
Right. It's not
That's
a
what you're looking
twerk. It's
for.
not a full twerk.
No.
It's just a little.
It's a little.
Just
What's
a
up?
Can you imagine the
gentle.
smell in the house when this is baking?
I'm telling you, it was like offside. So then, 40 minutes later, you're gonna pull it out.
Oh, I dropped it. Oh, no, that was the maple syrup.
It's time for some maple syrup
Here.
pie, everybody. Yeah. Woo. Oh, yeah.
So then, and you can see the crust looks absolutely perfect, even though we're not bakers and we don't claim to be bakers.
Right.
It's absolutely
I
perfect.
rolled that one out.
That's perfectly
It is.
imperfect.
So then, check this out.
That's
Wait
a
till
little
you see
slice
this
of
filling.
heaven.
Oh.
Nice. 40
And
minutes,
like
you said?
40 minutes.
That's beautiful.
That is absolutely perfect.
That is
And then I kind of want to stop there. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to put icing sugar.
I get
don't
it.
want to put anything. But then there is like, you get the local ice cream. And you get
Yeah.
your favorite ice cream.
What
and
kind
you
is
kinda,
that?
That's a Black Thunder raspberry.
Black
Oh my god.
So it's white chocolate with black raspberries. It's pretty
That's kind of fancy. I never even heard of that
tasty, right?
flavor.
So Jay's just going to give us the smallest little, just a little ice cream on there.
Oh, that's
And then
chefy too.
committed.
When you did
Normally
that.
you wouldn't garnish with a jug of syrup, but you want to take this to the table. You'd be like, how much do you really want? He's like, I want to drink. There you go.
It's beautiful. Cityline.tv. Oh my gosh, that's great. Get a fork ready for me so we can get into that.